and this was being led by an organization called Enactus.
Okay.
And Enactus is a world organization that works with students. So essentially the model is that Enactus would enroll colleges and institutes, and students within that college and within that institute have an opportunity of working on projects which are meaningful for socio-economic development for the country. Now, it's a great idea. KPMG is a global sponsor for Enactus. So there are initiatives that are probably not all well known and understood.
Right.
And efforts are being made in every direction. The question is, we need a force to bring it together.
It looks like a
That's
middle
all.
person, a middleman is going to work
Well, not a
better
middleman. No,
if,
see, it's
you know,
about
between
awareness.
industry and academia.
It's more about awareness to begin with. And even a tabling of all the initiatives taking place in the country will help build the synergy and create platforms that are so-called larger in stature.
Right.
Now, NHRD and FICCI and CII, they're all doing things. Question is, if we knew what they were doing,
Right.
and if they were
We would build the
individuals,
benefit.
clearly there would be a
Coordinated
a force and a coordinated effort
Right.
which can produce better results. That's my take.
Abhay?
But Shivani, of late, large organizations, the large organizations, maybe it be Tata's, Reliance, Jindal's, Lancos, they are setting up their own academies. They are investing heavily, like Maruti has got tie-up with IITs, Grand Hyatt Hotel. They are having a hospitality course for 1 year at Bombay. They are training almost more than 500 students a year. Similarly,
You
if
need to
come-
also decide how much of an investment you want to make.
It's a question of investment in the society at large.
Right.
It's a give and take kind of relationship which we have to form. And it's a coordinated effort. Everybody has to come together because almost more than 60% organizations, employers are fighting and struggling for getting the right talent. It's not a one individual organization issue. It's a common national issue which we need to address as a team.
Right. Abhay, you
There's
have
another engagement where industry has been taking lead, like faculty of the educational institutes. They also need to have the common understanding where the industry needs is there. And there's a huge gap in terms of faculty development. When I can quote an example of a major consumer brand where we took a lead and we tied up with technical education boards of all the states, and we invited faculty to our organization in our training center. We gave them the aspect of the technology. We gave them that what kind of students we want. And then they can go back. And that was a continuous program wherein
Right.
on the year-on-year basis, we were incurring the expenses. We were arranging their lodging and boarding. And we were giving them a training, 2 days module, 3 days module. And they were going back and teaching the students. So that is the kind of a step where academia also has to be a very open mind in
Right.
terms of taking partnership with that kind
In
of
fact, Mr. Shastri, you
efforts.
gave me an example of how your professors at the university were still using, you know, phones that were probably outdated in today's day and age, where the students are far more ahead of them. So do you believe your professors are old school in their thinking? I mean, and are you actually hiring people who are ex-industry and are willing to teach permanently right now?
Already as a group, our Sharda group has already started in that line. I am from the industry with 31 years of experience. My last assignment was with Boeing. So I have joined in academia and I am going to work with them closely and move forward. So fortunately, the apt subject for industry academia, I am from industry, joined in academia and work with that. Whatever I have learned in the last 30, 35 years, so unlearn in the academia. So that can definitely. So,
Or rather, you will relearn after learning.
So it's not every time that
And then,
executives or
anyway,
engineers will go.
the faculty development program, which is being there, that we have, that activity we have accelerated now. It was there. Because of my going over there, it accelerated. And a couple of faculties have already started going to various, they have given for minimum 6 weeks, some of the industries have called.
Right.
But the faculty has already moved, both computer science people are already working in a couple of projects. Our mechanical people are working, electrical people are working. Faculty is going. Absolutely in your right
So
direction.
there's a larger, I guess there's a larger debate, and I'm not sure we should open it up now, but I still wanted to make the point. Given I spent some time with academia. One was for-profit or not-for-profit. And two was the ability to therefore attract good people
Right.
from industry to come and teach. And one big hurdle is the way we pay faculty.
True.
You know, it's a pittance compared to if you were to establish common scales in the West versus in our country. The way we pay our faculty is a pittance compared to what people would get paid abroad. And therefore, you find very few good people that choose this as a profession, which has a cyclical effect, because that's what, you know, these people are imparting learning to students, and students aren't coming out well-rounded in the right fashion, which is impacting industry. So somewhere, I guess, this debate is ongoing. It's still not concluded, but academia struggles to attract good talent from industry.
So
It's
in
a
fact,
big struggle.
That's very relevant. It's like I said, you know, at times we will ensure that we continue to amplify this. And this is not a problem, it's a journey. Like you said, all of us, the only thing that I get from all the sessions are positives and willingness. So there is no resistance anywhere. In fact, when you talk about women coming back to work, we actually have an initiative soon around that. We're doing a recruitment drive. I would like to invite this whole panel to actually look at those people.
Older sectors,
Right.
older employees, part-time employment.
Absolutely. So all these initiatives. So our work is to continue to amplify it, and I see people moving in that direction. Already a lot of initiative from the industry and academia. So I think we'll continue to do that, and it's all
The whole shift from career to livelihood.
right.
That is it. We are training people for career management or managing their lives.
Right, true.
And that is the way, in fact, which will be traveling light with no mental baggage. And as Mr. Siddiqui said, you know, that we should get the benefit of history moving forward, not be burdened by it.
True.
You know, whatever was working, probably it was working well. Now, in fact, since times would be changing,
The need is multiplied. You need to
Yes.
give it a fresh. Any
And-
closing comments?
Shivani, not only in magnitude, in complexity also things would be changing. So we have to constantly reinvent ourselves, and as Mr. Shastri said, you know, unlearning and then relearning. And that cycle goes on.
I think one comment I can say is that we should be considering ourselves very fortunate to be Indians, to be in India at this point of time, to look at our country, this tremendous potential which we are having, in spite of all the negatives and all the crises and everything. But I think compared relatively, I think we are much more richer in terms of our cultural capabilities, learning from our own Shastra and everything. I think why we should look down upon ourselves as a country. So first thing is think positive about our country. Second thing is on this subject, think very, very strong and positive about our young generation, very capable, high energy, very confident, high aspirations, no problem. But at the same time, great talent, third eye perspective. Can we somehow utilize this? And third is India's education system last 30, 40 years have scored over US and Europe by a big margin. People who have studied base education here, gone out to compete there, they have beaten the hell out of people from US and Europe. That's a very good proof that we have been very good. Only thing is we need to realign,
Channelize.
Right.
refine, revisit, restructure. I think it's not a very big challenge. Third thing, last, when we are seeing some such efforts in actors and everything, I think there is no point to really bring them into one common pipe. I think we can create more such pipelines and country will be doing fine, hopefully. And to a great extent, I'll be very keen, Shivani, to look at some new, fresh perspective from the people, delegates who are sitting here and patiently listening to us.
So we'll just do that in a moment. Yeah.
I mean, we have been talking a lot about industry and obviously what industry will do and what academia will do. But then there are a lot of students here. I mean, I think there is a job at hand for you too. You also need to do something beyond what your faculty will do or your institute will do or what the industry will do. I mean, in terms of, I had a situation where somebody comes for an interview and person has not even visited my company's website. I mean, come on, you going for a job, you're not even visiting the website, you're not even trying to understand. And then you have a situation where people are talking about a person who has done an MBA in some inventory control and all that, and I asked about, do you know what a GRN is? When you went for a summer training, did you understand how does a store's operation work? The person was not able to describe. You spend 6 weeks in a function. You don't understand, you not try to understand the flow of that function. So what will it do in an interview? I mean, the interviews are coming. So that's one opportunity you get. So you need to, there's a lot of preparation you need to do yourself.
Right, so the individual initiative also plays a crucial role.
Huge.
That's understood. So obviously we have the resources and the willingness. The key is to how to use it optimally. On that note, I'd like to wrap up this discussion. Hope it takes us somewhere eventually. But we also have some suggestions that are going to be released through a white paper from the director of Sharda University, Vicky Sharma, if I can invite you to do that.
So all the distinguished members of the panel and all the distinguished members of this August gathering. We had a very intensive and thought-provoking deliberations with the support of many of you who have been participating in previous conversations like this, which we have been holding over the last entire year, something close to 12 such sessions, and this was the culminating or the concluding session. And the valuable inputs that we got from you during these boardroom conversations. We have prepared a white paper as we had promised at the time of these conversational meetings. And I have great pleasure in releasing this white paper on this occasion of this concluding session of conversations. The white paper is there in the folders. You can take it out. I'll not go through the entire content of the white paper. It is with you. It's titled Industry Academia Disconnect, The Road Ahead. I will briefly touch upon some of the conclusions and the findings, and also what we see as the road ahead as a consequence of these 1 year of deliberations. First of all, in the first page, we have thanked those people who have participated. The list is pretty long. You can see that. Our thanks to all of them who have taken time out and contributed. I will just read the last para of the executive summary to summarize the essence, the distilled wisdom of all these conversational meetings. As the last para says, the ownership of bridging this gap lies with both industry and academia, and they need to meet at a middle ground. A structured methodology has to be followed where each company ties up with 5 to 10 institutions and each institution ties up with 5 to 10 companies to carry out joint initiatives. These initiatives should cover student training, faculty upskilling, longer internships, live industry projects, joint research and consultancy work, setting up of centers of excellence, new co-owned programs, catering to the requirements of specific industries, and revamp of course curriculum. These are the major thrust areas, which is what this panel has also discussed in great detail. Now, what is the road ahead? Let's go to section 4.0 of your white paper. 3.0 gives a schematic representation of what we have to say. You can study it. 4.0, you skip the first page, go to the second page. You'll find a number of points listed. Now, I will enumerate as the road map that we have set for ourselves. Something has been set here out of the deliberations that we have had. We have added certain things to that. A 7-step roadmap is what we as Sharda University have decided to follow and act upon. I'll name those steps. We'll invite your participation, the mutual collaboration. Step 1, we sign MOUs with close to 300 industry leaders, leading industry houses, leading industry entities, leading companies, showing our mutual willingness to come together. We are not going to wait for CII or FICCI or any other organization. It's taking too long for us. Our patience is running out. So we are going ahead with this willingness to come together, establishing the intent for co-ownership of taking the institute and institution interaction to the next higher level, We will call all these partners as VIPs or VVIPs. What do we mean by that? VIPs doesn't mean very important persons in the usual parlance as it is said. It means valued industry partners. VVIPs are very valued industry partners. So this is the first step. Let's express our intents together, come together, create our own platform without waiting for the government or any other organization to come forward. The second stage, as you said, new programs as per industry's requirement. We'll sit down, upgrade, then design the new curriculum, upgrade our existing curriculums, work on this together. 3 faculty members will be assigned one industry segment. We have 1,300 faculty members across 300 different industry segments. We'll allocate 3 to 4 faculty members to specifically sit down with the industry and work out new curriculums. Third step is we'll create all those basic in-house training facilities at our own investment, whatever is needed to impart the initial training module. Right? This will resources, if it can be shared, if we can get some help in terms of some working models or some similar setup coming from our industry's partners, it's most welcome. Otherwise, we are ready to invest funds, ready to invest resources, and create facilities to support these 300 different industry segments. The fourth initiative is, after 3 years of basic education in any one particular branch, let's say mechanical engineering, the person had 3 years of basic studies, which grooms him in the basic concepts. Then, as Mr. George said, 6 months of training. We have decided to split it into 2 modules. The first module we call as initial summer training of 6 weeks to 8 weeks duration, so that a student takes it at the end of the 3rd year, at the beginning of the 4th year, or the beginning of the 7th semester, gets groomed up as an initial knowledge of what is happening in that particular segment of industry. He comes back, the industry will train those 3 faculty members who are associated, who are the process owners in that particular technology which they are using. All their processes, giving them all the support, they will prepare the course content. And once these students come back from the training sessions, we are not impinging upon your time. We're asking you to just provide them training slots. The training will be monitored by these 3 faculty members who have been trained in that particular segment by industry. Once the student comes back, he'll be thoroughly evaluated. Every week he'll be submitting a progress report. He'll be constantly in touch with the faculty mentors so that your time is not engaged and your resources are not engaged. But we cannot duplicate all kinds of industry segments within the campus itself. So he is monitored by these 3 trained faculty members. He comes back. Then we have 200 to 400 credit hours, as Mr. Sastry said, on that particular industry segment.